So now we're going to move on to another region in Italy. This is called Abruzzo. Now, Abruzzo is found in south central Italy in this area right here. And I'm going to go back to this slide. Abruzzo is considered the greenest region in all of Europe. I mean, that's a big statement. And the reason they call it the greenest region in Europe is because there are more nationally protected parks in the Abruzzo region than anywhere else in Italy and Europe for that matter. It's a beautiful, nature-esque region full of mountains, as you can see in this picture, and it also enjoys the Adriatic coastline as well. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to a little beachside town called Francavilla al Mare. Now, Francavilla al Mare has a long history, but its name, Francavilla, comes from ancient Roman times because Franca means free and Villa means village in Italian. And so it literally means free village at the sea, al mare. And the Romans called it that because they made this town a tax-free area. So people used to go there for vacations and they would avoid paying taxes. And people also lived there and to avoid taxes as well. I forget for how long it went on like that. If my memory is correct, it was about 12 years or so, but the name stuck forever and ever. I want to introduce to you a talented winemaker. His name is Emilio Rapino, and he's a native of Francavilla al Mare. His family has been living in this beachside territory for multiple generations, and he's not the first person in his family to be making wine, but he is the first certified enologist to be making wine in his family. And so his family is very well respected locally for making really, really good wines. But Emilio wanted to sort of take it to the next level. And so he basically partitioned off several single vineyards on his family land to produce single vineyard wines of super high quality, okay? And what I admire about Emilio is that not only does he make the wine and he's the owner of the winery, but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. As you can see in this picture on the right, he gets out and he works in the vineyards with his bare hands every day, you know, training the vines, you know, getting dirt under his nails. He's a hardcore, passionate Italian winemaker, and he's got a lot of skin in the game, and I really respect what he does. His vineyards are uniquely located. As you can see here, one of his plots faces the Adriatic Sea, which not only is a beautiful, beautiful view, but it impacts the quality of the wine. It really does pick up a lot of minerality and salt from the Adriatic Sea, which is so beautiful to taste, especially in his white wines. And then on the right here, you can see facing west are the Apennine Mountains. So he's uniquely located between the sea and the mountains, and that unique location under the right hands produces a unique group of wines. And so this is our daring pairing for the fall season. And I highly recommend that you try drinking a rosé with turkey. I love drinking rosé with turkey because for me, turkey is sort of a bland meat. I'm sure a lot of you would agree. And that's why there's just so many toppings available. But let's just say you don't want to deal with the toppings other than salt, pepper, maybe some herbs, and avoid the cranberry sauce and all that other crazy stuff for Thanksgiving. The rosé, especially Emilio's rosé, will definitely add a lot of color and excitement to an otherwise sort of bland turkey dinner. So I paired this rosé with a turkey breast, oven roasted with some herbs. Now, this wine type is called Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo, which literally means pink from Abruzzo. And this is the local rosé in the Abruzzo region. It's such an important rosé in the world of Italian wine that it has its own appellation. It has its own DOC status, which was recognized by the Italian government. So while rosés are made all over Italy, some of the best rosés coming out of Italy are from the Abruzzo region. The other region that I'd recommend rosés is Puglia. They also have their own appellations, a couple of them for their rosés. But Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo tends to be a medium plus bodied rosé. It's not like those Provence light-bodied, minerality-based rosés. Those I would not necessarily recommend with a turkey. They wouldn't have enough weight to balance itself with a turkey breast. This wine absolutely will. I think you'll enjoy it. Even if you're not a rosé drinker, if you're a strict red wine drinker, I want you to know something about this rosé, because I'm predominantly a red wine drinker too. I'm not a big rosé fan, but what makes this wine unique is this. Have you ever heard of a wine called Montepulciano d'Abruzzo? Now, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo is probably one of the most famous and cost-efficient wines coming out of Italy. It's in every liquor store. It's in every Italian restaurant. Montepulciano d'Abruzzo is everywhere. It's a very, very famous wine. Well, Montepulciano is a grape that's grown in the Abruzzo region and makes red wine. But this rosé is made with the same grape, Montepulciano. The only difference is how long the juice stays in contact with the skin. That's it. So when you're fermenting the rosé, the skin stays in contact with the wine for about 12 hours at the most. I know that this is what Emilio does with his wine, 12 hours. Now, if he wants to make a red wine, he's gonna keep that skin contact going for probably at least 8 days, just to give you a perspective. So what this really is essentially, this rosé, it's essentially a light-bodied red wine when you think about it, because it's being made with a single red varietal that's typically made into a dry, full-bodied red wine. Okay, so for those of you who are red wine drinkers, this is definitely something you need to check out.